Yeah, so hey everybody, welcome to the second ever first episode of the Catch All Gaming Podcast. This is the game podcast from Constantly Calibrating. I'm going to say gaming podcast one more time because I don't have this part written down quite yet.
We're working on it. It's all a work in progress.
Pretty much. So, but yeah, welcome to Catch All. This is where we at Constantly Calibrating share our gaming experiences with you along with our takes about the industry in general as well. It's our journey through the industry.
Yep.
I'm your host, Justin Stanley, along with Josh Silverman.
Hi there. I'm tired. I've been streaming all day and I have the flu.
I wish I could stream all day. I've been working all day. I got the muggle job. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, by streaming all day, I mean, I said I was going to start streaming at 10 a.m. and then I started at like 1 p.m. because
that's how I am every weekend. Every weekend.
Yes.
But, yes. To kind of give everybody an update on what you can expect from the show, I can't tell you because that's going to be, as our name lives up to, it's constantly calibrating.
But we actually have a pretty firm idea, and just to be clear, we have actually been running test shows of this for, about 3-4 weeks now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's not like I got on like 20 minutes ago and started putting stuff together.
No. No, we had a basic thing in place, and we know where we're going, and then we just update. Then we just punch in the news. It's just the news puncher inner. Pretty much.
So yeah, the format might change a little bit as we go out because some things I might like, some things I might not like, some things I might think are too similar to others.
Yeah, and you guys might just hate shit and tell us to fuck off. So
the point is, like, I want to have fun with it. If we're not having fun, we'll cut it.
Yep.
That's how it goes.
Don't do things if it's not fun. If you're gonna do, if you're doing a business based on fun shit and you're not having fun, then why are you doing the thing?
Exactly. And of course, I'll actually get into it too. Yes, we might cover gaming news, but no, we're not going to be your first source for it. Basically, we're just bringing our take from it, or some interesting takes that we'll pull from like other people we know as well.
Yep.
But so far, what we kind of started off with in the past, and we'll start off today, is kind of like our reviews previews area, or just pretty much it's what we're playing.
Yep.
Which I think in one of our docs actually like question a title for this, and I think what tickled your fancy.
Yeah, what tickled your fancy was one of those suggestions you threw out there. Maybe this will have a segment. Will have a sectioning explanation. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
I got nothing.
What tickled my fancy lately? I actually finished Bloodstained last night on stream. By finished Bloodstained, to be fully open to everything I've done, to let you know what I played. Basically, I have 99 point something weird. No, 98 point something of the map uncovered.
Okay.
I got what you considered a good ending, I guess. Only beat it once. And right now I'm kind of just farming for more shards, armor pieces, and leveling up stuff.
That's cool.
So, yeah, I'm kind of trying to platinum it. But basically, I played enough where if I would review this game, I would do it right here, right now.
You could do that right here? Because, yeah, so in one of our... Justin's actually talked about Bloodstained a few times during our test shows because it's one of the main things he's been playing, but you guys haven't heard that. So Justin, what are your thoughts on Bloodstained in a few minutes or less?
I was just going to open this. It's like it's no different from what I mentioned before.
That nobody knows.
Bloodstained's great. It is for people who are unawares. Igarashi. Basically, he used to work on old Castlevania titles. Most famously, Symphony of the Night. Kind of is certainly one of the main pioneers. I mean, he is the Vania, a Metroidvania.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, if you're kind of wondering what those accounts are, like they're 2D side scrollers, areas where you you can't go to all areas because you have to get a certain power up or something like that. You can go back and traverse side areas.
Take your path.
Mechanics. Yeah, pretty much. Take your path. Bloodstained is pretty much it is Symphony of the Night, or more like the GBA Castlevanias. Unabashedly so. Like, it is the movements, the just everything about it, even this just a game design in general, seems it is from that era, and that's both good and bad.
Okay.
Like, for example, like something I'm just not used to anymore, because it's just we're not used to, or like just games have spoiled this. It's like, oh, there's no checkpoint. You have to manually save at safe spots every time, or you lose all your progress when you die.
No bueno.
No bueno. But that's how they used to be. It's something they could have changed. But yeah, which is my main feeling about this. It is great. It scratches that Castlevania itch. It is not the end all be all though, and it really doesn't do anything to reinvent, or
it doesn't do anything to like reinvent the wheel. It brings you forth the same thing you're already used to.
Pretty much, it is pretty much just saying, "Hey, we got this, but I'm doing it on my own." Was started as a Kickstarter, a successful Kickstarter too. Published by 505 Games, and yeah, I mean, you can pretty much play this on any consoles. I mean, well, it's on Xbox, PlayStation. No, it's not on Xbox yet, is it?
No, I did just PlayStation and PC and Switch.
Yes, that's right. Switch is kind of having some issues right now. Actually, all of them kind of have issues, which is another problem with this game. Not a lot of them, but like for instance, I hit points where like I'm pretty sure I was in single digits in frame rate at a particular boss.
Okay,
but like yes, Switch kind of suffers from a bunch of that along like metal down graphics. I'm not sure how much is fixed. I know 505 is actually actively addressing as they're progressing. They knew the Switch one's a rough shape, but they actually had a patch out day one. Didn't fix everything they really were hoping it would, but they're being completely open with it.
It still left the stuttering, and it still left the subtitles like having words missing and a lot of other weird shit.
That is also in the PlayStation 4 version. I saw it yesterday.
I did not realize that.
Yeah. Oh man, I got a new thing. I got to work on my vocabulary that I learned from Bloodstained.
Okay.
I beg you a boon. That's just what I'm going to say anytime I'm asking for a favor now.
That's how we're going to officially. That is the new content calibrating way of getting interviews.
I beg you a boon. That will be a show.
That's oh my. That's gonna be it. So Kind of Funny has the Best Friends show. That would be ours. We beg you a boon, and the goal of the entire goal of the show is to get Ed Boon on it.
Yes. Yes.
We're pitching shows right as we go, people. This is happening live.
Yeah, to the point where we're just like we'll be trying to say the name of the show. I beg you a boon, and we'll just like slip a lot and say begging Ed Boon.
Yeah, it's the Begging Ed Boon show. It's just where we ask Ed Boon to put Ninja Turtles back in every single game they make.
We'll do that. It'd be great. We'll live stream it, and we'll have nothing but people coming to yell at him about stuff they're not happy about in Mortal Kombat.
Exactly.
God, it doesn't matter where he goes. It's about what he says. That's
that poor man.
Yeah, not poor man.
So yeah, what else?
Nice fellow, though.
He's very nice. What else you got for Bloodstained? Anything else? What's your overall thoughts? Just like simply put, so doesn't reinvent the wheel, but it's still a good game. Just it's what it is. So, buy not buy.
Oh, certainly buy if you're a fan of it. You know, I think the price tag is a little high.
That was my thought as well.
I got it on sale because they're just doing like day one sales and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I super do not regret it. It's out of all the Metroidvania titles that are out there right now, especially from indies. It's definitely one of the better ones. It does what it does very well. There is definitely some replay value in there because, like, after you beat the game, there's 3 difficulties that you can't play right off the get-go. After you beat the game on normal, you can make a new game plus and actually just hop into the next difficulty, which I should be able to literally run through.
Okay.
But yeah, it's great. The game will kick your ass when you start, but at the end of it, you're pretty much a god. As you kill enemies, they drop shards, which pretty much like a power from that enemy.
Yeah.
And not to mention like a bunch of movement stuff you can get. Like I can pretty much literally fly through the levels. Like there's a high jump that you could do that you could do diagonal up and straight up, and you can keep doing it in a custom like magic or anything like that.
Okay, that's impressive. Just for clarifying, confirming, Send Your Bad Bit in chat is saying its price tag is $40, which he's saying is a killer. And Yeah, I'm sorry. A game like this, my limit's probably 25 for something like this.
We'll see. They are updating it. They're going to add some DLC to it. I'm not sure what their DLC plan as far as pricing goes, or if they just popping it in there. Because like right when you start off, like it starts with a character select. There's only just Marion right now. I know there's plans to add Shovel Knight, and there's also a Shovel Knight cameo in there already.
Yeah, the Shovel Knight stuff is honestly Shovel Knight's 90% of my interest in the game.
If you're wondering, is this game, Iga directly says "fuck you" to Konami. Several places. There's one in particular that I do not want to ruin for everybody. That I heard. I think I was listening to Jim Sterling where he was talking about there's a certain area. Same thing he said he didn't want to get in. It's like, did I hit it yet? Even one of the other episodes, I was thinking maybe this was it. Oh, I found it.
Okay.
I know exactly what he's talking about now. But yeah. Other than that, it's a fantastic game. If you're a fan of this genre, highly, highly, highly recommend it. Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, well, that's really awesome.
But yeah, we'll kind of like move into what something we could both kind of share into, which I don't have too much input on yet, but Mario Maker 2?
Well, we were going to do something else before Mario Maker 2. I had a little story, and then we were going to segue into that.
I was about to say, my list is in no order of consequence.
Yeah, no. So I've been actually playing something interesting that kind of surprised me. So I told this story on one of the episodes you're not going to hear, one of our test episodes. My wife, Charnel, about 2 to 3 weeks ago, started talking about how she really wanted to play that Mario game with the 3D one on the Switch. And I'm like, literally all I could think of was Odyssey, because I what else could it possibly be? I loaded her up with it. She starts throwing around Cappy and stuff like that, and she's like, she's running around the beginning of the game. She's like, is this the game I was talking about? Finally found out like an hour or two into her playing it, she was thinking about Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U, which she got confused and for some reason thought was on the Switch. Not a big deal.
Why is it not?
Why is it not? That's a whole other fucking question. Of all the games, the port from the Wii U over the Switch, come on, that feels like a no-brainer.
I have a feeling it's happening. It's just...
You just gotta wait for it.
Yeah, that game deserves second light. I mean... God, I'm so good, I can never find anybody to play it with. So. Pretty
much, that was my problem as well. So she kept playing it, and like she was in the Sand Kingdom, still didn't like the game. She got, I think she seriously got all the way up to like the lunch. No, she was all the way in Bowser's Kingdom and still did not like the game.
Damn.
Like she was enjoying it, but also just it wasn't what she was looking for. I did most of Bowser's Kingdom for her because she just didn't enjoy the verticality. But like I would sit with her while she played, we'd do stuff like that. The story I want to tell, though, is she beat the game, and it was cool. She hasn't beat a game in a long time. She beat the main thing, and then she's running around Peach's castle, the Castle Kingdom, and she's just something like, I want to get all the moons and all the purple coins.
Holy crap.
Didn't you hate this game? She's like, actually, I think I did like it. I think I just was stuck on the idea of it, wanting it to be one thing that it wasn't. And I'm like,
have you tested the strength of your marriage and tried the co-op mode yet?
Yeah, we did that a little bit to get the volleyball bouncing 100 moon. We did the 2-player mode, and that was the worst. Well, I mean, I turned on 2-player mode while she was running around the levels, and that was the worst thing ever. For the purpose of what we were doing, it was great. For the purpose of the volleyball thing, it's literally the only way to get that. But yeah, so every single night. For about a week now, we have stayed up till anywhere from midnight to 2 o'clock in the morning playing Mario Odyssey together, getting moons. Roran, since his summer break, has been staying up till about 11 o'clock midnight with us because now he loves video games as well. A 4-year-old never liked anything about video games, so now we've been doing like family Mario Odyssey moon hunting and purple coin hunting
precious.
Every night till like the middle of the damn night. Doing that, and as of last night, we have 100%ed every kingdom through the Luncheon Kingdom and are almost done with Bowser's Kingdom with moons. I went from I can't traverse in Mario at all to I now have been getting the Master Cup challenges and getting like very, very quick fucking times in that because I've learned how to like do all this crazy like speedrunner shit in the game that I didn't know I could do.
I really need to go back to the game because, like, I mean, I beat the game as far as like I got to a point where it rolled credits.
Yeah, sure.
I never got to Dark Side of the Moon, which, I mean, I guess that was a spoiler at a time, but so many people would just throw that out there nonchalantly that I know exists, clearly. So,
on my playthrough, I did Dark Side of the Moon. I did that. I discovered just recently, it's an old enough game, I can say there's a darker side of the moon we discovered with Charnel's. We haven't gone there. We haven't done any of the Dark Side of the Moon stuff. She doesn't know what she's in for with that yet. But with like my game, I was really happy. I rolled credits to Dark Side of the Moon. I think I had like just over 400 moons, I want to say. With Charnel, we're like at 750 something moons. And yeah, we've bought everything. We've been playing the shit out of it. So like that's just been a great fucking time. I keep meaning to talk about it on Twitter. I just don't remember to actually tweet anything in the moment, but it's been a cool time.
That's how I live life every moment. Not specifically tweeting, I just don't remember to do stuff.
That too. Yeah, that too.
I gotta remind myself to breathe. It's weird.
Fair enough, I think. We should probably have do a different podcast than that one.
Maybe.
But now what you were addressing, Mario Maker 2.
I was going to make a breath of fresh air joke, even though it's not. Oh, yeah, Mario Maker 2, try to transition to that. As far as I played, I haven't done any level creation. I'm only like mid-30s as far as the made stages that are on there. I haven't played any download to stages yet. I kind of like have these treatments I do every day, which thankfully it's ending soon. That's kind of when I play Mario Maker.
That makes sense. Yeah, I bought it myself to play with Roran because that was going to be his first real video game experience, and he enjoyed watching it, but then he just decided he really just liked Mario Odyssey more. So the Mario Maker's kind of been my bathroom game, and maybe play a little bit before bed at night. So I think I've got the cast, like this story in the story mode, you know, you're rebuilding the castle and stuff. I think that's at like 89%, 90-something percent done. I've done a shit ton of levels in it, and I've played a few random made levels. Imran Khan from Game Informer made a level that I decided to load up that I made it about I did about 30 tries, making it about 4 seconds into the level every single time for like nope, I'm out.
Also love this time too, because I mean there's a lot of personalities online or people from different businesses. I think my favorite is Patrick Klepek.
Patrick Klepek's morning stuff. Is that what was the other one?
No, like Patrick Kepler's morning stuff, specifically his morning stuff with Dan Reichert levels.
That's always a blast.
I know my favorite thing I've seen so far. It's just like there's this like super difficult part he got through, then he gets to the second part, all relieved, like, all right, we got this. It's just water, lava, 3 saw blades going up, and he just looks at it, shakes his head, like, that's the end of the stream. It does cut off the stream there.
That's absolutely amazing. Yeah, I've watched a little bit of mostly just like clips of him doing it. But like this Mario Maker's gotten to the point like Arby's is making levels for Mario Maker.
I did not see that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's one of their Facebook and Twitter ads that keeps popping up for me that I keep meaning to like load up the level. All I've done, I noticed the game didn't have much of a tutorial. Because, like, my issue with the game was I started it up, right? And I hopped into, like, a 1-star level figuring, I'm going to play a little bit of this, and then I'll pass the next 1-star level over to Roran to play. The problem is Mario Maker, even with those 1-star levels, expects you to understand platformers. It's not like Super Mario World 1-1. It's not...
Well, not even that. Understand platformers and understand... There are different rules depending on which era of Mario you're playing.
Exactly.
Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 3. It's supposed to be the new Super Mario Brothers design, but it's pretty much like
3D Land.
Yeah, 3D Land design, but it's pretty much like the new Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. Those two are borderline indistinguishable.
Oh, and of course, Super Mario World.
Yep. So. But what I was saying is, yeah, even when you take that into account, there is just no, there's just no hand holding at all, which which is fine. That's not the target audience, but like for me, I'm trying to introduce my kid to platformers. That was my goal for this. So what I've been doing while everyone else is making these tough levels, I have been making beginner levels in the game. Like I made a level. What's beginner level 1-1? What's like the core rule for Mario that I'm going to teach a 4-year-old? That's like what I'm thinking about. So the first level is literally just running up and down slopes. That's the whole level. It's just running up and down slopes. That's it. The next level is all about jumping over stuff.
Okay.
And then I think it's like I have only published the first one. I haven't published the jumping one, but then I think around like the fourth one, I start adding enemies in, and pretty much the goal is all beginner levels, just to give them a very basic idea, and then I'm gonna start doing intermediate levels, which shows you the differences between the different eras, and then also starts adding in like mechanics like wall jumping and things like that. And
I mean, you can easily load up the Nintendo digital, I forget what their thing's called, the Nintendo Classics, and just load up Super Mario.
Sure, could easily do that, but this has been fun for me to like just kind of.
I was like, this is I didn't hear you do this. This is awesome. So basically, you are building out tutorials for your son to introduce him. Yeah,
that's pretty much. I've been just trying to come up with a good way to onboard him to the game, because even Charnel hopping in, like, she's fine with the Super Mario stuff. She's fine with most of the stuff, but like starts to get into like some of the wall jumping and some of the more crazy tactics that pop up even in 1-star levels, and she's like, she gets it obviously, but she's not played all. Every era platform and every era Mario, so it even throws her off. So I'm just like, you know what, just if there's other people with kids, like I'm just gonna make essentially I want to make a curriculum almost of about 10 levels.
These Mario levels are like that Nintendo built within Mario Maker, which I think they have like 100 or so, might give or take a few, because they have some like other like task givers, like the Undo Dog, which is adorable. But like it's not like a traditional Mario, get your ass to the right, hop over a few things or anything like that. Like there are mechanics. Some are just legit puzzles.
Yeah, the puzzle ones throw me off half the damn time because that's not my style of Mario game.
Which I also love it because like as I'm going through, I kind of do want to make a level because I am like realizing I hear a lot of people mention this as well, but like Nintendo's level does a good job at introducing you to different mechanics and how you can use them differently. And it's pretty much kind of teaching you how to design a level.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't want to be like strict. It's like, oh, this is a single player that teaches you the multiplayer, like how some games do like that. No, it's not a single player to strictly to wean you on to that, but it's something that like is good on its own.
Yeah,
but it does spark ideas and get you interested to make your own.
Yeah, the game's good as it's good as its solo / co-op, playing the levels kind of experience, but it triggers those ideas in your brain and it starts showing you things. Like I said I'm going to buy this. I thought about this beginner tutorial idea before I played, or as Senior Babbitt in chat is calling it, Platformers 101 Professor Silverman. I thought about that whole thing before buying the game, and that was one of the things that kind of encouraged me. But getting hands-on, I will go before going hands-on. I'm like, that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to make beginner stuff. I'm not, my brain doesn't work in this way. I'm not going to make any crazy levels. I'm not going to do other stuff. But playing through stuff, I keep getting these little ideas where I'm like, actually, I kind of want to just make some fucking levels and just see what comes out. I don't know if I want to make some psychotic levels, like Death Machine ones, but I don't think my brain's wired for that at all. But I've been having a good time with the game, and I definitely don't regret it buying it like I thought I might.
Same here. Like I thought, like I had zero interest in getting Mario Maker.
Oh yeah.
I forget what pushed me over the edge. I swear I wasn't sick, but I might have been. And if for anybody new, I usually do big binge buying or buying very expensive stuff when I'm sick, like legitimately sick. It just seems like a great idea.
Yeah, the joke whenever Justin says, "Hey, I bought a new X," he will always, whenever he says, "I bought a new X," I'm like, "Okay, so what's your temperature right now?" Like, I'll always just ask that.
Like, when we noticed this was a true problem is when I came home with the Wii U.
Yeah, when you came home with the Wii U, it was definitely the original. That's the very original time.
Like, I did it when Mario Kart came out, too, because I really want to play Mario Kart. I really, really, really want to. And then, like, I was sick the next day, and I came home with the Wii U.
Yep. I have definitely had experiences where I have... Charnel and I have a term at home now. It's whenever a random Amazon package shows up with, like, a really expensive item, she's like, "Were you Justining?"
Oh.
Because it's literally the, essentially what happens when I get sick. Or for me, it's more likely I don't do quite as much when I'm sick. It's more when I just hit that specific type of depression, but it's the depression that I'm not like feeling like down or those kind of things. It's where my stomach feels empty. There's a specific kind of depression I get, which is what I had last week when I didn't want to do anything, where I feel overwhelmingly hungry.
Your depression works way different than mine.
I have like 5 different types, but the one I've been feeling lately is, I think I described it to you, where like I cannot tell if I'm legitimately sick right now because like I just feel empty inside. So like, so I usually fill it with food, but sometimes I fill it with items like, you know, taking advantage of the Thinky clearance sale. Anyways, which it relates to gaming because I bought a gigantic King Boo, I think it is, beanbag chair for the kids.
God, I didn't know about this. Is that clearance sale still going on?
Yeah, I think it's still going on. It's 75% off everything.
Ooh.
I bought a Boo beanbag chair. I bought a Luigi costume, a Luigi onesie. I bought a Captain Picard facepalm bust, and one other thing.
Oh, the costume's a onesie for you.
Oh, hell yeah, it is. Abso-fucking-lutely, it's a costume for me. I think it comes tomorrow. I'm hoping to do my Messenger stream in it.
Are you going to start playing Mario Maker and just going, Ouija time?
Yes.
God, that's a new stream.
So anyways, that like I've been doing stuff like that. Hell, the Xbox One X I have in the closet was when I was messaging with you, and I was looking for a 4K device, and you convinced me.
The Xbox One X too. That was also sick that day.
You did too, yeah. So that's how the illnesses have worked. So moving on, you've also been kind of going for a blast from the past. Gameplay. You have been doing Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2.
Yeah. So this
to be clear,
weekend,
1 and 2. He's not played 1 then 2. He's doing 1 and 2.
You're going back and forth, actually. So one, like my parents, or mother, one of my sisters haven't seen Endgame yet.
Gotcha.
So we seen it last weekend. Now you're asking Justin, why go see Endgame with them where there's a perfectly fine Mysterio movie out there?
Yep.
And I will tell you, because they need to see Endgame before they can see that.
Yep. And
honestly, I didn't mind to see Endgame again. And the second thing, that extra footage they added is complete bullshit. Except the tribute to Stanley, that was really sweet, but
that's what I've heard pretty much.
It was that. There's a cut Hulk scene where it's Hulk being a hero, a smart Hulk, which it's not done. Like the CG effects weren't done or anything. It was just the beginning of Far From Home, like in the desert, screwed up, sand dude, hot Mysterio. God, Jake Gyllenhaal's dreamy. I don't fly that way, but
I don't either, and
I'm made for him.
Jake Gyllenhaal, particularly in this movie, and it would, he does some things.
It does some things. But yeah, so I came home, and like honestly, I started looking at stuff like just really in a Marvel mood. It's like I'm gonna see all the costumes. Started looking at YouTube videos.
Okay,
and then I just started playing the damn game.
I mean, you literally could have just used the excuse Ultimate Alliance 3 is coming out in like, what, a week, 2 weeks?
That is part of it. That is really part of it too. But the sad part is not the big part of it. You think it would be. That's usually how I work. No, that's a slight thing. It's like, oh god, I can't wait for Ultimate Alliance 3. I'm kind of having fun with this.
Yeah, so what have been your thoughts coming back to Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2? Because my main thought thinking back on it, because I think the thing I said to you is like, I remember, like I said to you, like based on my memory, I preferred the gameplay in 2 but preferred the story in 1 because there was more Marvel story. And then you said actually, and like you corrected me on a bunch of my thoughts in our little chat, because my memory of it also is I thought I owned both games for years, only to discover I've never owned either. I just played your copy when we used to live together.
It's true. Okay, so Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1, this is more... It's a spiritual successor to X-Men Legends, and the formula used there, it pretty much was the exact same thing, except the new graphics of that gen when it came out.
Sure.
Also, I can't remember if X-Men Legends was isometric or a static isometric camera, or was it rotating? I can't remember if that was a new thing in Ultimate Alliance or not.
Oh,
I have X-Men Legends too, and an Xbox.
I think the X-Men ones were static. That sounds really familiar.
But yeah, kind of going back with that, I think X-Men Legends 2 and Marvel Ultimate Alliance, I think those are both Raven. I could be wrong.
Yes. That sounds
I know they didn't do 2.
No, definitely did not.
Vicarious Visions pops up, but I think they just handled the port. I might be wrong on that too. I mean, they do pop up, but just them handling the port. I need to go back and talk. But anyways, going back to it, I'm enjoying them. Like, they are really good. The first one, acting is god awful. Story is better.
Okay.
I'm going to paint a picture. Imagine back in the day where the image of Tony Stark is just no personality and has a thick mustache. That's how early this was. So this is pre-MCU.
This is the good old days.
This is the good old days when Marvel was... It's cool. I was happy there's a Marvel game. Not everybody was. I'm super psyched about it. But not this is back like when a Marvel game comes out and it's actually decent. But it's cool. Like it's a top-down RPG action adventure, Diablo-ish. Except like there's only like one piece of loot that drops, but the big thing that you can do is like pick your moves and put the points in certain moves you want, on top of like upgrading your striking ability or focus something like that too. That's kind of how it is in both games, except the second one kind of focused more on team mechanics, even though I don't think it did it as well. As far as the look, it looked great, but the team mechanics were kind of... It wasn't like as... Like, basically, it's a spectacle, and 2, 1, it's there, but it takes effort to do.
Gotcha.
2, like, you just hold one button and push another, and it does one, and there's not that many. Like, you could do it with anybody, but, like, you'll see the same one multiple times. Like, there's a targeting one, a clear room one, and one that brings everybody together, smashes them, and another that you actually just, like, run with your character and just hit everything. I think that's it. Like, it's just a repeat of those 4, but just doing it with different characters. Yeah, this is kind of how I feel, too. Like, I feel like I think the action, the powers were more varied in Ultimate Alliance 1, and kind of more cookie-cutter in 2. Like, 2, you could tell, like, oh, this character is kind of a copy of this character, powers and all. Where 1 is, like, they kind of feel different. It's like, oh, I just don't have a sideway push. I can actually hold them and move them around and throw them, whichever. Also, each character, when you grab somebody in 1, had a special move unique to them that you could do after a grab. Like, Spider-Man would actually straight up whip somebody up. Iron Man will uppercut somebody there, grab them and hit them to the floor. Stuff like that. They didn't do that in 2, too. I think you just punch them and throw them, which you can also do in 1. But yeah, as far as story goes, yes, the story is better in 1, but it's not delivered as well as 2 is. 2 is definitely more cinematic because that's kind of where it got there too. One thing I have to give credit for 2 for, which I haven't seen too many people give credit to this, is their costume design. They're actually unique in 2. Like, they're based off of, you know, comic inspirations, all the stuff out there in the movies and stuff, but they look practical.
Okay.
Like, you could tell where the seams are in Spider-Man's suit. Wolverine's mask, like, it's more like a helmet, and you can actually see the zipper put it down. Like, it looks like, oh, I can see how that functions, which I super appreciate, because that's kind of one of my gripes about superhero movies is that costume's that practical. How long would it take him to get in that thing? In this, you can actually see, like, oh, that's a separate piece, that's a separate piece. Oh, that's just kind of a helmet that you just tighten up with the zipper, kind of like a wrestling mask or strings or something like that. And I was like, oh, man, that's really neat. That's really cool. I love the costume designs in this because I kind of like when they take that more practical approach to it.
Sure. No, I mean, I always, excuse me, I've always preferred that stylization when you can figure out how something works. Like, the Fantastic is fine, like having fantastic costumes and stuff like that. But like when I see something that is literally just looks like one gigantic piece of rubber that has no seams, no nothing, and you're like, what? Like, give me some logistics of how, in this day and age, how somebody got into something. The individual pieces.
Yeah, I mean, a perfect thing is like, Batman from Michael Keaton's day, or anything actually leading up to the Nolan Batmans, where you can kind of see how the armor works out and see that it is different pieces. Even though that at the end, that still took forever to get into too, I bet.
Oh yeah,
but still, like the idea of it is like more based in reality. I like that. Or even the games, like Batman Arkham Origins, you can see every single piece of his armor and how it hooks up. It's not that much so in actually Arkham Asylum and stuff like that, but because Origins is rough when he's starting, so it's like kind of.
He's not wearing like some gigantic tank of armor. He's wearing pieces. He's wearing a suit versus armor.
He's almost wearing hockey pads.
Which is definitely my preferred method of Batmaning in superhero style costumes. The tanky stuff's fine, but like give me some street level stuff. It's also why I love Spidey overall. Yeah,
and kind of like why I like the Daredevil Netflix series, how they approached his costume. Like it looks.
Oh yeah,
that's practical. That's armor. That's stuff like that. And you know what? I even give a shout out to the Ben Affleck Daredevil one. It was like it wasn't spandex. It was leather, and you saw how it hook up. It was like something he can actually just take a couple minutes to jump into.
Yep, it was a decent costume, no question about it. So returning to Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
This is a tangent. For clarification, like I was just sitting there in the days, probably playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance for 3 to 4 hours, and then an hour and a half and 2. I didn't go to bed at 2 a.m. I had to work the next day at be up at 6 a.m.
So then, fair enough. So then, you played a little bit of both the Ultimate Alliance games. Ultimate Alliance 3 is coming out. When is that? When is like Marvel Ultimate Alliance?
July 18th or 19th?
July 19th. So not this Friday, but the following Friday.
I am super excited for this game, but also super worried about this game.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, because that's the same where I am. I've had it pre-ordered since the moment you could pre-order it. I'm going to get it because it's a Marvel game. I love the previous two Ultimate Alliance games. But I'm worried because I feel like I've heard absolutely nothing about this game since the debut. I feel like I've heard nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it has things to go for it. Like, it's a game I would love on the Switch, so I could just pick up, play down.
Sure.
I'm horrible with mobile gaming, or not mobile gaming, handheld gaming.
Yeah, on the go.
If I'm on where I live, if I'm on the go, I am going somewhere specifically. I'm the one driving. Like I have no downtime unless I'm going to somewhere to wait for a little bit, and then it's not that long.
My thing is, I go plenty of places that I could do stuff. I could play games while I'm waiting for a doctor's appointment. I could do all these kind of things. The problem is, if I'm going to most of these places, I am going with at least one of my children. In which case, if it's Roran, okay, I could probably play games in front of him at this point. But for the longest time, he was too young. I wanted to interact with him. I didn't want it to be the dad sitting in a waiting room or something playing a video game while my kid is running rambunctious. You know what I mean? So, like, and with my baby, I'm certainly not going to do that with Sora. So, like, I go plenty of places I could do handheld gaming on the go, but I'm not gonna. Circumstances don't allow it.
But yeah, getting back to Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Yeah, my biggest worry about this is just it'll be too generic.
It looks like it's going to be.
But I got hope. Like, I'm worried about, like, oh, this person's power is a punch, so is this person's power. It looks a little different, but it's the exact same, that type of thing. Or it's a blast the same as this blast. Or all 3 Spider characters are the same. Well, actually, 3 or 4, I don't remember. Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and actual Spider-Man.
Yep.
Peter Parker Spider-Man. I don't know. We'll have to see. But from stuff I'm hearing, I did hear some stuff about E3. I heard like their actual combination moves seems really different. Because they're like, oh yeah, we did this, and this. That was a blast. That was a blast. When did all the spider people? We just had a huge ball of web in the middle of it. Wow, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, no, I mean, with the way I've been looking at it is, it's going to be as generic as Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2 is like what my expectation is, and it's going to be as...
Again, I feel 1 is more varied than 2 is. 2 feels like they kind of went cookie cutter with some of the characters.
Which I'm really curious about, because I played 2 before I ever played 1, and I played 1 most of the way through afterwards.
Yeah. And so to be clear, I enjoyed both.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is I enjoy both games. So the way I'm looking at it, again, I haven't played them like a decade, but I still enjoy both games. I still enjoy the style of game. I enjoy a Marvel storyline. So even if the game is not the best, I'm probably there's still their target demo in the way that I'm going to play it and enjoy it.
And storyline is just as good. They're doing the Black Legion,
something like that.
Basically, it's Thanos.
They're doing Thanos shit.
And not only that, like I love their character designs in this and how it looks. Very good for the platforms on. Not going for super realistic, not going for super 3D cut and edge. They're going for more stylized, which looks heavily inspired by the MCU, but definitely different.
Yeah.
For example, like the Marvel Avengers games coming out looks like they try too much to be the MCU, even though they made their own costumes, and they're not quite sure where to break that off from. This one looks like, yes, they're inspired, but they definitely made it their own thing. Yep. If that makes any sense.
No, I mean, it makes perfect sense because, again, the Avengers Square Enix game coming out, it looks like they were going for 3 completely different art styles and didn't know how to mesh them. This game, it looks like they were inspired by 1 or 2 different things and then made an offset design based on those 2 designs.
Yeah. Also, another thing that very much interests me is developed by Team Ninja.
Yeah, that's the part that I'm interested in most in, I think.
Yeah, if people are unfamiliar with Team Ninja, Ninja Gaiden.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you need to know. But also, they handled the combat in Disney Infinite.
Infinity.
There's tons of stuff they've done too that they pretty much focus just to combat.
Yep.
They did Metroid Other M, but you can forget about that one. But basically, they know how to handle combat. They know how to make fun combo, fast-paced, just free-flowing combat. Like, that is their niche. That is what they're good at. Every game they do it in, the combat in that game is usually pretty good. So, yeah, I mean, I got it. I got close to pre-ordering it, but I actually hold off. I may hold off for reviews, but I'm pretty sure with the mood I'm in now, I am probably just going to dive in day one. But yeah, it's hitting soon. I'm super excited. But yeah, that's about it. So basically, if you're wondering how these shows go, it's mostly me, but it's just talk about games for 40 minutes.
It's both of us going back and forth talking about things. I mean, that's kind of how a lot of it goes, and then we get to news when we get to it.
Yeah, this is our first live show, so we're getting a lot out.
Yeah, we're just kind of, because that's the thing is we've done a few of these topics in weeks past during the tester show, so there's a little bit of overlap of us getting stuff out just to make sure that the right things are talked about. I was gonna say that, Ultimate Alliance I've had pre-ordered for a while. I'm definitely playing that. Like, I have Fire Emblem's Hogwarts pre-ordered as well, but that's the following week. I'm quite possibly gonna cancel that, honestly.
I'm debating on that one too. I love that you call it Fire Emblem Hogwarts.
I don't remember the name.
Three Houses. That's basically the game it is.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it. I just know every Fire Emblem game I play for 20 hours and then I stop playing. I'm very, very interested in the game, but between the fact that I'm still tackling Judgment, which today was my last day streaming it, I just want to play it by myself now. Between that and the fact that I don't know where I would fit it in my stream schedule. I don't know if I want to stream that kind of game. I might just cancel it just to save money. I also didn't get any of the jobs that I applied for that I was certain I was going to get. So
yeah. Fire Emblem, that's a game that I'll probably get and not stream. But I heard they also took off one, like the mechanic that I think you're more interested in. Like, they don't have that generations of mechanics where your characters develop a relationship, have kids, and the game continues on with those kids. Isn't that how it used to be?
Well, I mean, Awakening literally had a time travel component where you 2 characters would romance, and then their child from the future would travel back in time. And then Conquest/Birthright had a component where there was a hub world, a kingdom that was separate, that was unlocked, from time. It was not part of the normal time stream. So your characters would hook up, your kid would then go live there, and they would age to a teenage/adult character and then join your party. I don't know if that's in this game. I haven't seen anything like those. Are actually the mechanics that sold me on the previous Fire Emblem games, were the that kind of thing. So I'm not really sure what that is. All I know is, much like the last 2 games, you have the option for permadeath. You could turn that on or off.
Gotcha. Which I may jump into it too, because Fire Emblem is it's a type of game I'm interested in. It's actually a series I never jumped into. I think the only one I actually owned was a GameCube version.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, I will ultimately play the game, because it looks, now that I've been getting super into anime recently, weirdly enough, it just looks like that kind of thing. So,
I mean, if you want to have a wild time, go ahead and hop on to Evangelion like everybody else right now.
Nope. No, thank you.
Come on, it's not like it's going to traumatically ruin you like it did me.
Jesus Christ.
No, God, anime takes a turn.
That's what I've heard. So yeah, so that's that. I think that's that.
That's that. One last thing I want to touch on is, which I'm not going to go too deep into because getting deep into this kind of spoils it, is the Outer Wilds. Not the Outer Worlds. Outer Wilds, which is the Annapurna published game. It is an exploration game. Some people think this is kind of No Man's Sky-ish, but it's not, because it is in a designed solar system. You don't go to 1,000 different planets. You go to these specifically designed ones. But imagine the travel of No Man's Sky. Just to travel. And we'll say the exploration too, mixed with Majora's Mask. That's pretty much what this game is.
God, yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, you are alien to us race, not to them. You're just a group that, like, they do have established space flight, but it's kind of cute because there's space flight. Like, their program it's not super high tech. Like, it looks like a couple barrels thrown together. Like, if Donkey Kong had a spaceship, that kind of looks like what you're riding in.
Gotcha.
Blessing is super excited right now.
He doesn't know why. Somewhere in Seattle.
Donkey Kong. But yeah, so like it's like they're extremely like knowledgeable in science and stuff like that, but there's low tech at the same time. But yeah, it is an exploration game as you're trying to figure out more about the universe. And while you're doing this, there is a world-ending event coming, or actually, I guess
it's in effect, isn't it?
Well, not a universe. It's your solar system. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is an event that happens that just wipes everything out. It happens every 22 minutes. And when it happens, you start over. Exactly where you are. But you do regain the knowledge that you get through there via, like, one of the first things you do is get launch codes so you can get to your spaceship, launch it. Once you did that, you did it once. That stays with you. You just know it. Even though, like, in text, people kind of think it's weird. It's like, wait, don't you have to go get that? It's like, I don't know how you have it. That's weird. And that's when you're kind of figuring you're in a time loop. Your character knows it. The dialogue's funny. It's not voice acted, but like written out. You could choose different things to say. But yeah, you kind of like when you first start the game. First thing I have to say is the fight mechanics are weird.
Okay,
weird as in like they're not intuitive at all. You have to think how it works. It's basically you're working in a spaceship. Think of a lunar lander. A lot of thrusters, forward thrusters, down thrusters, back thrusters. Like you're playing moon landing every single time you get into a planet, because it's not like you just line it up and hit a button and you land. You kind of have to fiddle with the thrusters, flip it around, land gently. It takes a bit to learn how to pilot your ship, which I actually got frustrated with when I started off. But I got used to it, and used to it pretty quickly, and starting to enjoy it more. And then when I really got into it is when I started because I first started off as jumping into planets, seeing what's happening, because you can go to any single one of them. Yeah. When you start off, I think it's like 5, 6 planets plus moons. Roughly. I might be wrong on that. And I didn't really get the game until I hit a point where I realized, oh, that's a weird graphic there. Oh, you do have a scanner. Started doing that and started putting pieces together, and you start to discover more about the planet. Every time you do a discovery, you do have a ship log that stays updated, and that's kind of how you tell your progress on each planet. Because it's not like you just have to remember everything and get to a certain point, even though I think you can do that in the game. It's more like, oh, you said this, you go to your computer, you see 3 different question marks pop up. You can actually look at the details like this is here. Maybe we should check this out. And when you check that out, you get more details about that. And it spreads and spreads and spreads. And it goes on through. One thing is because once you get used to that, the next time you wake up, you kind of notice oh, I see this every time. There's something that there's a big blast up there. There's something that shoots off, and I can still see something float in there, and you investigate that. You figure out where that takes you. It's really, really cool. But the cool parts aren't just me explaining the game. It is the planets. It is how they are super unique each. I don't want to explain why they are, because I think that's the part I would want to spoil someone for this game. Like showing up to a planet no one expect. That's the crazy part about this game. You don't know what to expect. One I will talk about, though, is there is a planet that is kind of like falling apart. And depending on what time you get to that planet on that playthrough, depends what condition it'll be in when you get there. Okay. So definitely more of a Majora's Mask at that point. Like there are events that happen at certain times. But yeah, it's really cool. It is an experience. I had they do some really cool things. Again, it's hard to talk about without spoiling it. But all I gotta say is I recommend it. It's on Game Pass. And you can get it from the Epic Store on PC. I think that's all it is right now. Of course, you could buy it on Xbox as well, but you could, if you have Game Pass, you can play it right now. Just jump right on it. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, my plan is to... I don't know if that'll be the next game I play since I'm not streaming Judgment anymore, but that's one of the next 2 games. I'm pretty much starting not next week, but the following week. Roran starts school back next week, but his proper schedule is the following week, so my real stream schedule starts in about 2 weeks.
I will say, once you because you have the game does not hold your hand whatsoever. Mm-hmm. Like you roll up to something, you're like, "What this?" and your view goes over something. You realize something moves when you do that because that's how they kind of focus on locks. Mm-hmm. Do you figure out, this is how you can open this door? And it's a really cool way to do it. The level design in this game is awesome, and the music in the game too, really, really awesome. Okay. There is a steady tune throughout the game that is played in multiple different ways, and I think really stuck in your head in the best way possible, among other things, like especially at certain times, like especially when the moment hits, things start to swell up. It's good. So again, recommend it. Can't recommend it enough. I need to sit down and actually play more into it. Like I always get super focused on it for a couple hours. And then I land on Moonlighter. Got focused on that. And basically, I just keep getting distracted. I only have it on Game Pass, so only when I'm not at my computer on my couch with my TV on is when I want to play it, which is not often, sadly. I really do want to set sorry, my stream. I have plans. I'll discuss with you later, Josh. I won't get into on here. But we're gonna actually get into the news.
And 50 minutes into this, we're
gonna
get
why
into
not?
news?
I mean, come on, we got to talk about news because something actually happened on the day of recording. How rare is that?
That's literally I think that's one of the 2 reasons we could not cancel the show. Is something actually happened day of. That's just a sign.
It is. I mean, something's happening every day, but this one's significant. Let's get into it. Nintendo introduces a Nintendo Switch Lite, a device dedicated to handheld gameplay. This is from the press release. Mm-hmm. In a video today, Nintendo introduced Nintendo Switch Lite, a device designed specifically to play Nintendo Switch games in handheld mode. The Nintendo Switch Lite system launches on September 20th at a suggested retail price of $199.99 and will be available in 3 different colors: yellow, gray, and turquoise. A carrying case and screen protector set for the Nintendo Switch Lite will also be available. Add-ons.
There you go.
So yeah,
I threw a picture of it into our stream just so you can see what the hell we're talking about.
There you go.
Also because I wanted just to see if I could do that really quickly without annoying people. So the Switch Lite, I mean, it's gonna sell well because it's gonna sell well. I have no question about that. It'll certainly sell well in Japan.
And yay! I mean, this is what we wanted from the Vita.
I mean, that's essentially what this is. It's a Nintendo Vita.
And I got some skepticism about it, which we'll get into. But basically, I overall, yeah, I mean, smart idea. We knew this idea was coming. Mm-hmm. Makes sense. I kind of like it because it brings me back to the Game Boy Color days when they had them in different colors and different. Mm-hmm. I guess DS as well. They are going back to this is the handheld. And back on their handheld bullshit as far as everything you're going to do with it. Mm-hmm. And we'll do this as a separate thing. We'll start this in right here now. special design ones. Like they are having a special Pokemon edition as well.
Which I will pull that up and throw that in here.
Yep.
As well.
Yeah, the Pokemon themed edition will be available November 8th, which has Zacian and Zamazenta. You can tell I'm excited for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Basically designed as 2 legendaries on the back. And it's also a kind of like a more shiny.
Yeah, it's definitely got a sheen to it. It's definitely got a look to it.
The buttons are like pretty cool. They're one's turquoise-ish. The other is kind of like a.
I mean, I straight up want this Switch. I don't want a Switch Lite. I'm not buying in on that. We have two Switches in our house. And even though I prefer playing in handheld, I've already got a Switch.
Same.
It's like I don't care enough.
No. And I'm actually, I like to play on my dock a lot, like, depending on the game it is, too. Like Zelda, I love playing on the dock. I like it playing on the dock more than I like playing that one in handheld.
Sure.
There's a few other titles as well, too. Indie games I love playing in handheld, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what it is. In general, I just prefer handheld. I am, like, the story I told earlier about Mario Odyssey. I played my entire run of Mario Odyssey. I never played it on console until I started playing with Sharno. I played that entirely handheld. I played Breath of the Wild entirely in handheld. I have played almost, I think Katana Zero, up until Odyssey, Katana Zero was one of only 2 games I'd actually, weirdly enough, played in dock mode, just because I just prefer handheld mode. But even with that being said, I already own a Switch. Now that I found out that you can actually link libraries with it, in the sense of I could have my profile logged in on 2 different Switches, and as long as it's not the same game, people can play. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe when Roran is a little bit older, we'll buy him a Switch Lite as his console.
And as this was for, this is for the little, because like when the Switch came out, I feel like, yes, this is a video game console. Yes, you can carry it, but this is not for kids.
No.
I would not give this to a youth.
The multiple pieces and stuff like that, the detachable aspect, the docking aspect. There are so many reasons why I would not give this to a kid under like 8 or 9 years old, unless I really fucking trusted them with supervision.
Yep. But this one, like, it's solid. It's one piece. It's more compact, which for that alone, I'm kind of thinking about it. Some other differences as well. We'll go ahead and get into it.
The D-pad?
Yeah, there is a D-pad on the left side now, instead of just it being pretty much your second Joy-Con with separated buttons. God, I still need to get me a Joy-Con. It's just a straight-up D-pad. On top of that, cheaper, lighter, more compact. Other things. No HD rumble, no IR motion, which you can't take. I mean, you can't detach Joy-Con, so that doesn't matter, right? Either. I don't know if it's going to have accelerometer in there too, because that's different from like when you go into handheld modes. I don't know if it's reading off accelerometer in the Switch itself, or it's actually reading from the ones in the Switch handles. But basically, the difference is like our tracking is it's pretty much the Wii remote. And then like accelerometer is pretty much something you'll find like in a PlayStation 3 controller, motion controllers, where you can like tilt it and it tilts with you, stuff like that. So
yeah, I mean, my big takeaway is there's no HD rumble, and that actually is a thing I love, love about the Switch. So that actually bums me out.
Well, my biggest takeaway right here, and here's the other part: no TV mode, which that's just super weird to me. I mean, I understand not advertising it. I understand not wanting to mix the message, but just not straight allowing it, because it's not like they don't have the port for it. It's USB-C. I see that's on there. I don't understand why you just don't open that door, or just leave that door open.
I mean, I wonder if there's just some component that's inside the console that they're not putting inside the Lite.
And that could very much be it, too. Like, it's very... Because it's definitely a different chipset, which I imagine is a smaller one. Yeah, I know that one kind of baffles me. I wonder how much it was to cut price. And we get into it, too. Like, we said this is $199.99. To compare, Switch is currently $299.99.
Yep.
But with that, you also get the dock, which is $89.99 on its own, and the Joy-Con grip as well. But of course, like, yeah, this is for two different audiences, and that I completely understand. It's just like the whole, because I wouldn't mind a more compact Switch I could take with me, that when I take it out and travel, I can also hook it up and then bring my other Joy-Cons and stuff like that for other people to play onto a TV, which that's the other part too. Like that would help with their add-on sales. Like, so why wouldn't you?
I mean, this to me feels like the 2DS. It is made for a very specific market. It is made for a very specific aspect of things. They are not looking for add-ons. They're not looking for peripherals. They are not looking for it to be the same as the parent, console. It is just their goal with this is just to have this one thing. Because again, like what you're talking about with the Switch Lite, because yeah, what you're describing here, I'm like, you know what? If it did actually work with the TV, then I would consider trading in my current Switch. Because honestly, my Joy-Con are kind of dying on me. So I would honestly consider trading my Switch, getting the Switch Lite, and just slapping that on my dock. And
yeah, same here. That's my pull on as well. Or even like say, these are cheaper. I don't know how it works for developers, especially indie developers that get a game out. Maybe they want to display it on this, but not just in handheld at a show. But I imagine they probably can also get a developer build. That's the thing I'm really curious about. Like, I wonder if it can, but they're not allowing it to. If that makes any sense. Like, basically, I wonder if like there is a developer or build for software that will allow TV output. They're already locking it out by, yes, like you're saying, not having a hardware, or are they locking it out by a software means? It's just still not having it at all. Like, again, understand. Again, it's a different target audience, but
I get it, but it also irks the shit out of me.
Nintendo likes add-ons. Why they close the door on it? That's baffled me. Like, Nintendo does a lot of stuff that baffles me. I mean, one is like we talked about Mario Maker. We've seen player-generated level games, Little Big Planet, stuff like that have built-in communities where I can simply follow somebody, see all their creations, download it, keep up with them. But no, I have to pass out how many digit code is it?
It is a 9-digit code for every single level just to find it.
Now, Nintendo, if you're trying to catch me on nostalgia back on the NES or add a punch of code in so that I have saves on the cartridge, okay. But come on, man, catch up. And I love it because, like, Miyamoto, was it just a report that Miyamoto was out saying, like, oh, Switch Online is not running behind everybody else, and financially, no, they're not. Numbers-wise, no, they're not, but
no.
From the their side, it is doing great. From the consumer side, not so much. Like, it's just so bare bones, but again, it's so cheap at the same time. Like, why don't you have it?
Pretty much. I mean, that's the case. That's what it is. And a lot of people, I mean, Charnel and I have Switch Online, but we don't pay for it. We don't pay for the membership. Our friend Joe, pays for a family membership, and we're on his account. And we just, when he comes to visit, we just let him stay with us for free and make him food. Like, that's that. But so, like, that's where I think a lot of their money is coming from, is all the people getting the family memberships.
Yeah.
Just because, well, I mean, honestly, when you break it down to a family membership, it's so fucking cheap. Why wouldn't I just have this? It's not like Xbox Live. It's like, $15 a month is, ooh, that's a thing. It's like, when you break down a family membership, it's like $4 and change per person. It's like, who gives a shit at that point?
Yeah.
It's like, you may as well just have it.
It's just, there's some stuff that just, it baffles me with them.
Oh, like, yeah, no.
Nintendo going to do what Nintendo going to do.
Why is there, what our buddy John from SDGC always complains about, where the hell is Super Nintendo games? So the hope is right now for a lot of people that come September 20th that coincidentally some Super Nintendo shit's going to launch. We don't know. As Sen says, is Nintendo, not Nintendo don't a lot of shit in this day and age. Like
playing with your friends in Mario Maker. Which, you can't play co-op with your friends in Mario Maker unless, is there a fight mode? I don't know. It's not there at launch. I know that. I
didn't know that there was any form of co-op whatsoever in Mario Maker.
There's online co-op, but it's random.
Yeah. So fuck that. So anyways,
which are leading to a ton of Mario Maker troll videos, which I am actually enjoying.
I haven't seen any of those, but I might actually tune in.
Oh my god! I think Kotaku. I think they have an article, just a line of them. It might be a different outlet. I apologize if it is, but
either way,
take a look. It's funny. But yeah, that about wraps it up for today. I think.
Yeah,
anything else you want to talk about?
There's nothing else. I mean, we had one like little mini thing here, but I don't.
I did. I mean, we got a lot of like shows coming on. I mean, Witcher, which first of all looks fantastic. Second of all, people are freaking out because it does have Geralt doesn't have two swords on his back.
Yep.
Third of all, which should have been first of all, it's more based on the books.
Yeah, so that's not something you need to worry about. That's who gives a shit.
Yeah, but I do gotta say, with the look, Henry Cavill's looking awesome. It definitely looks look-wise inspired from the games. I'm not sure if they had like I'm not super caught up on the Witcher novels. I'm not sure if they had illustrations of Geralt, but
I don't remember offhand.
Damn, Cavill looking good. Final Fantasy XIV announcing they're doing a live-action series. Another thing that popped up was today or yesterday, which I think is awesome. Cuphead is actually going to get a Netflix series.
Yeah, the senator is saying in chat, which is there are Witcher books. The games are based on the books.
The games are based on the books. They're not retelling of the books. They're like more.
They are their own thing that's based on the books. The books are because essentially the books take place before the games.
Yes,
is how it works.
The author of the books does not like the games and think it diminishes the value of his books. When, as you just said, there are Witcher books. Yep. I'm honestly thinking CD Projekt Red just kind of doesn't want to work with The Witcher anymore just because the headache they're dealing with to do. Because I think he tried to sue them before.
He tried to sue them because initially he sold the rights to make a game for pennies. It was nothing. I think it was like $50,000 or something like that. Which, he probably was like, well, nobody's gonna buy these things. And now The Witcher 3 is one of the single most popular, well-selling games in history. And now the guys
GOAT category.
Yeah, and the guy's just like, wait, money? Kind of situation. So I think they're dealing with a huge headache from that series because of it. But yeah, as Justin said, you didn't know there were books. So
the Cuphead one really is super.
I think the Cuphead one is great because I don't remember. I forget who tweeted this earlier, but somebody tweeted, "Wait, I can finally enjoy Cuphead without crying."
Pretty much,
like the art style essentially. And I'm like, honestly, that's a very valid point. As someone who. The only experience I have with Cuphead was trying to play when we demoed it at years ago, GameStop Expo, and then playing it. I think I played it briefly on a Extra Life stream. I think the last time we did Extra Life. That was my entire experience.
So like, I'm super proud of Studio MDHR. Like they put so much into they risk so much to make Cuphead.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. That came out. I mean, they got a ton of plush. It's the same thing like Shovel Knight happened too. I think I saw a tweet. I was like, "When's the Shovel Knight show coming?" From Yacht Club.
I would love to see anything more with the Shovel Knight universe. I love Shovel Knight so much.
But it's awesome they actually are having a Netflix series. Like they're going to be animated shows of their game that is inspired by classic animation. And to bring it up, like it's not going to be 100% like the game. Yes, it's going to be inspired by more traditional animation. It will be hand drawn, but it's not going to be traditionally hand drawn. It's going to be more like digital, animation. But I don't know, still super cool. The look is definitely different too. It's kind of more modernized, I guess.
Sure,
but I mean, understandably so, because like, yes, I would be a fan of older animations. People who are into animations might enjoy the kind of like the source material that kind of like were inspired from like the animations of old. But this is also going to be targeted for kids too, because they said like joke wise and stuff like that, or the content is going to be something that kids will enjoy, but adults will have humor in there too. Sure. And that's the thing. You show kids these older animated stuff, like how it looks, it's all jittery, it's all weird, it's kind of frightening. So I kind of understand them changing the look of it a bit to kind of keep the inspiration but modernize it.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense to me.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's 2D Dark Souls. But yeah, that's all we got for today. This is a jumble of a show, but
No, I didn't feel that way at all.
Good. It
didn't feel jumbly to me.
We might do an episode 2. We'll see.
What? There could be more?
Yeah, it'll be the first episode 2 as far as most people know.
There you go.
But yeah, thank y'all so much for joining us. I don't have an outro written for this yet. I'm still working on that, workshopping it. I think actually in my doc I have Razzle Dazzle Wub Wub till we catch you next time.
It's been a pleasure. Was your follow up to that?
It's been a pleasure. Yeah, it is my follow up for that.
I still like some variation of "We'll catch you next time," but let's plug stuff really quickly. For anyone watching this, you can find Justin on Twitter at Justin_Glorious.
Yes.
He streams on Mixer and Twitch, Justin Glorious.
No underscore.
Without the underscore.
Mm-hmm.
I stream on Mixer at Bear Punch, and I'm at Bear Punch on Twitter. You can keep up with all Constant Calibrating stuff at ConCalPod on Twitter. Join our Discord as well, constantcalibrating.com/Discord. And I think that's most of the plug stuff. And
and Josh will be at Bear Punch until I decide I want to make shit about that again. I gave you my blessing. I never said for how long.
Yeah, I don't. There was no listed amount of time for the blessing in effect. So this is what we'll do. We'll have a tournament in a couple of years, and it'll actually be refereed by Blessing at AOA of OK Beast, just for a pun that only you and I will enjoy.
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons I want to host a panel with all of our wonderful friends. Just to say, count your blessings. Oh, we have one. There you go.
He'll hate that so much or love it. I don't know which way.
Don't you steal it. He'll love it, man. Blessing's a good guy.
No, you got that. So yeah, anyways.
Oh, wait, no. Let's pimp this out too. Hold up. Friday. Big thing.
Okay, well, it's not live, to be clear.
Okay, not live.
So we're
recording.
We're recording it, but so for the final thing before we close off this podcast, and we have a couple things we're to talk about in the after thing for this podcast. Yeah, we're going to be doing a big thing. We are best friends with John of SDGC. He's running this. It's I believe total of 8 or 9 former Kind of Funny Games Daily guest hosts. Well, sorry, 7 Kind of Funny Games Daily former hosts, 2 upcoming people. We have both the up-and-comers, Blessing at AOA, and Chloe. I don't actually know her last name. Echo Chloe is her Twitter handle.
Yes.
We're all going to be talking about our experiences and then answering questions and stuff of that nature.
If you don't know about Blessing, just look up podcast. There you go. He has too many. He makes podcasts on the littlest thing, or look up top DK64 Lover. Echo Chloe, she loves her big cybernetic, used to be organic men, multiple arms. She likes Grievous. She likes Grievous a lot.
She made a Grievous choice. Okay.
It was a Grievous choice.
Let's end this podcast and we can shout out more stuff.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, of course. Yours truly will be on there too. Because hey, 4 more Kind of Funny Games Daily show hosts right here. You know?
Yeah, you can totally tell by the quality of this outro.
I swear I'm professional.
There we are.
But yeah, that's all we got for you today.
Cool.
We'll catch you next time. It's been a pleasure.